So you would like to learn programming, but since you are already working or studying, balancing all the tasks you have and finding the time for learning makes you feel lost, like you could use a guiding light, a lighthouse to help you find the time. You see what I did there? How can you find more time to learn? Well, you can't get more time. Time is all about the priorities of what you can use it on. So you have to take some time from some other activities and dedicate it towards learning. First and obvious option, although maybe not realistic for majority of us, is to reduce the amount of working hours that you use. If you can work 1 hour less each day, then you can dedicate that time towards learning. Depending on your life status, type of work you're doing, this could be a valid option for you. You are basically investing your time and your money into a new career. You would literally put your money where your mouth is. Other options you can use also if you are really dedicated to learning is to take a vacation and then spend all that time learning to program. I did this myself when I was starting, although I didn't have kids and family then, but I can imagine that you can send your partner with kids to a 5 or 10 days vacation, and then you can stay at home and be really dedicated and really disciplined and learn a lot in that period of time. Find a good course and a good project that you will be working on, plan your time and track your progress and be very disciplined on what you do. And you can put, for example, 10 hours a day in learning. This will also give you a taste of what would your job be like when you finally get the job as a programmer. You might be stressed while you're learning, but try not to stress about it. However, do not allow yourself to play games or watch the movies or just enjoy the morning coffee if you haven't finished what you planned to learn for the day. Other things you can do to save time is to reduce time you use on everyday activities like cooking, washing, shopping, cleaning, of course watching TV and playing games. A lot of those things you can maybe outsource, and it doesn't have to be that expensive at the end. You could get your food delivered, maybe even prepared, and you can try to reduce the dishes or simply prepare the meals so that you don't have to wash that much afterwards. We found ourselves that when we order food online to get it delivered, even though we paid for the delivery option, it is actually cheaper for us than to go to the store, because we know exactly what we want and what are we buying, and then we can order that online instead of getting then impulse shop and buying things that we would usually not even buy. And the stores where we order food, they already have the recipes prepared so that we can just click on the entire recipe and everything is added to the cart, and then we can save a lot of time on that one. So try to find some alternatives. And of course you need to limit your TV and play time, but don't give up on your hobbies and your fun activities completely. Just maybe reduce them to temporarily while you're learning. You must do something fun to keep you motivated, and otherwise you will burn out and then you will not progress as much. If you want to be extra precise, you can maybe track the time you do weekly on those tasks and then try to remove them, reduce them, outsource them, or find some different, faster alternatives that will save you the time. And one strategy I learned from some course I bought a few years ago that can be applied here as well is to find 12 hours a week that you will dedicate to some project, in this case to learning to program. And I've been doing it for several years and it works great, and I still do it for finding the time to record these YouTube videos and make the courses, and also for the studies that I'm attending. And what you do is you find 4 chunks of 1 hour, so that is 4 times 1 hour. Then you find 2 times 2 hours, and then 1 chunk of 4 hours. You then schedule this time throughout the week so that each week you have 12 hours dedicated to your project, in this case to learning. And in the main 4-hour slot you will do the most productive thing and try to learn the most difficult topics. Here you will learn the new concepts or try to understand some difficult concepts, anything where you need to sit and be focused for a longer period of time, something that you need hours for. And you can do this maybe on a Sunday evening when everybody is sleeping, or Saturday evening or Sunday morning while everybody else is sleeping, whatever works best for you. It's important to find 1 chunk of 4 hours. And then you have 2 times 2 hours where you will try to make some progress by doing some smaller things, or you would try to understand the functionality or some portion of the code. Then you can even do whatever is most fun for you in these slots for when it comes to learning. And at the end you have 4 times 1 hour where you can review what you learned already or practice something by doing challenges to some websites like Top Coder or Code Wars. I will put the links in the description so you can just Google, or you can just Google for programming challenges websites. And this is the bare minimum of time that you should be able to find and dedicate to your task or to your learning. It might not sound much at first, but if you make each and every minute count, you can achieve quite a lot in these 12 hours. That is like a third of working week basically. That is how much time you will learn even when you start working. And again, this is just a minimum, and if you can find 2 or maybe 3 4-hour slots, then you have basically doubled your progress. And if you have smaller breaks at work, you can review what you learned already. Do not try to learn new things in the short period of time because you need more time to concentrate, to focus. But you can review the things that you already learned the day or the week before. You can create your own flashcards in paper or on mobile using some apps like Anki, and then you can go over what you learned, because as we talked, the repetition is a very important aspect of learning. Otherwise, you can very easily forget what you learned if you don't use it often. And these could be your 1-hour sets of that we mentioned before. If you can use a public transportation, for example, that is actually a good time where you can do something productive, either programming related, or maybe you can outsource the things that you should do at your home. For example, pay your bills and reply to your emails in that period, so that you don't have to use that time in the evenings. So even if a public transportation might take you 20 minutes longer than driving, you can get a lot of things done in that time, because practically you got your personal driver, somebody else is driving you, right? And by the way, we are here in Denmark. We are looking at this beautiful lighthouse because it is popular or something. We are driving around, enjoying the scenery, enjoying the beaches, enjoying the surfing. Well, I'm not surfing, but somebody is. We're enjoying the waves, trying to do the best out of this situation. Do you have maybe any tips on where one can find more time? Please write me a comment, and you might as well subscribe while you are down there. And all the time that you have found from the tips above should be quite enough to learn programming. However, the quantity of time is nothing without the quality. I mentioned planning before, and I will mention it again because a lot of people confuse goals with plans. Some people say that your plan is to become a programmer, or that your plan is to learn something new. That is not the plan, that is actually your goal. That is your destination, it's not a plan. The plan is a set of measurable actions that you can actually do and accomplish and finish, like a to-do list. And to get most of your time, you should plan ahead what are you going to learn actually, and for how long, and when are you going to move to the next subject, to the next thing. You cannot just sit and learn anything that you find and hope that one day you will know everything. You will never know everything, especially in programming. So on Sunday evening, make a plan on how much time you're going to dedicate on which task in the following week. Maybe even make a schedule. When are you going to learn what? Buy a whiteboard or print a paper and write on your plan for the next week. What are you going to learn? And also, what is the time to stop learning that specific thing and move to something else? This way you can also track your progress so that you can see where you are in your process. And this way you can also see where are you going to be in the next few months by following this tempo. You will learn the things that you actually do. So if you just sit and read and watch tutorials and from time to time do some small tasks, then that is basically what you will learn. You will become a master of watching tutorials. And that is something that no company wants to pay you for. They will pay you for fixing things, for making new things, for making solutions, for finding solutions to problems. So that is what you should plan on doing. Find some courses and tutorials where you can not just code along, but also do some homeworks, learn something, do something on your own, do some practical things that are applicable in real life. After each longer learning session, ask yourself, what have you learned? Do you have something to show to your future employer? I'll also learn some effective learning techniques. I made a short video about how to learn effectively before, but in short, set your goals and track your progress and practice what you're learning. Write a lot of code, write code like crazy, so that you get the muscle memory on basic syntax without thinking about it. Have a repetition plan. Pick courses that have homework, and again, do as much homework as possible, as that is the way to learn. That is the way your brain actually is learning, by repeating, by doing it, not just by watching it. When you watch something, tutorial, or read some article, you will just get the understanding of the subject, you will know how to do it. But to be able to actually do it, you need to code it. That is how you learn to do it, by doing it. And also remove distractions. Do not check email or phone while you're learning. Do not talk to people. Do not chat to people. Do not be available to others. Move to your corner or go to a library where you can be fully focused for at least 30 minutes. Then take a 5 minutes break and then learn for a new 30 minutes. You can check out the Pomodoro technique, which works a similar way to help you prevent the burnout. I will make another video dedicated to burnouts while learning and working, so check for that one as well. Try to find some mentors. Try to surround yourself with people who have done what you are trying to do, and ignore the no-sayers. And usually these are the people who you think should support you. Even if you are surrounded by similar thinking people online, that is better than nothing. We are usually the average of our surroundings. So if you surround yourself with people who have succeeded in what you are trying to accomplish, chances are that you will succeed in that as well, even if you are average at it. And while being average, be realistic about how much you can learn in some time. Learning to program is a marathon, it's not a sprint. You will need to learn all the time to make progress. You will learn a lot in your career. There is a reason why programmers with a few years of experience are still called juniors, as there is really a lot to learn. But by planning and keeping track of your progress, and of course by being consistent, you will quickly find your rhythm and you will be able to predict how long it will take you to learn new topics and learn the new things. And of course, the usual things apply here as well, like taking care of your body and your soul. Have a good night's sleep because your head needs rest, and eat as healthy as you can, and then train regularly. And if you stress about learning, consider meditation. Just a 20 minutes walk is good enough if you do it regularly, because you can relax your mind and try not to think about tasks and try to not to think about what you're going to do. Just focus on the breathing or something, especially if you're learning and working a lot, because you can easily burn out and then you're just wasting your time. And don't reduce your sleep. You need to be well rested to learn anything. You cannot cheat here. And I wish you good luck in your plans, and here are some more videos for you.